All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're pitting two absolute titans of hair removal against each other, sugaring versus waxing. This is the ultimate showdown for smooth skin, and we are here to figure out who, if anyone, is the undisputed champion.
You know how it is. We're all on this quest for that perfectly smooth, hair-free skin, but it can get complicated. It's a sticky situation, sometimes quite literally.
And that brings us to the big question, right? In this great hair debate, when you really get down to it, which one actually comes out on top? Well, that's what we're going to find out. So, let's introduce our contenders. In one corner, we have the all-natural, ancient art of sugaring, and in the other corner, the well-known powerhouse, waxing. These are two legendary techniques, for sure, but they have some seriously different ways of getting the job done.
For our very first round, we're diving straight into the fundamentals. How do these things actually work? It really all comes down to the ingredients and, even more importantly, the technique used for application and removal. So first up is sugaring, and you're not going to believe how simple this is. The paste is made of just three things you probably have in your kitchen right now: sugar, lemon juice, and water. That's it. It's applied lukewarm, so you don't really have to worry about getting burned. Now pay close attention, because this part is the absolute key to everything. The sugar paste is applied against the way your hair grows. This lets it kind of sink into the follicle. Then it's flicked off in the natural direction of the hair growth. Remember that. Against, then with. Okay, now for our other contender, waxing. So unlike that simple sugar paste, wax is usually resin-based, and it can have all sorts of other ingredients and chemicals in there. You can get it applied either warm or cold, just depends on the type of wax. And here's where things are the complete, total opposite of sugaring. Wax is applied with the direction of hair growth, and then, you guessed it, it's ripped off against the direction of growth. So let's just put that side by side. Look at that. It's a perfect mirror image. Sugaring applied against, removed with. Waxing applied with, removed against. I'm telling you, this one little technical difference is the secret behind pretty much every other distinction we're about to talk about. Okay, let's move on to our next round, and it's probably the one you've all been waiting for: pain and skin sensitivity. Which one hurts less? We're putting them both through the gentleness test. And, the general consensus is pretty clear on this one. Well, let's be honest, no hair removal is going to be totally painless. Most people do report that sugaring is the less painful experience of the two. But why is that? Well, this scorecard breaks it down perfectly. The big secret is that sugar paste is water-soluble. That means it only sticks to your hair and to dead skin cells. It doesn't grab onto your live skin. Wax, on the other hand, well, it sticks to everything. So when it's pulled off, it's yanking on your skin too. And that extra pulling is what causes a lot more of the pain and irritation. So for this round, the winner is pretty obvious. If you've got sensitive skin, that combination of natural ingredients, the lukewarm temperature, and the fact that it's just gentler on the skin makes sugaring the clear champion of comfort. All right, on to round 3, the endurance match. I mean, it's great if a method is gentle, but we also want results that last, right? So which one is going to keep you smoother for longer? And this is a huge deal, because the whole point of this is to spend less time worrying about hair removal, not more. So let's see how they stack up. Okay, this scorecard tells a really interesting story. When you look at just pure longevity and the risk of those awful ingrown hairs, sugaring definitely takes the lead. But notice that little point for waxing. It seems to be more effective on really thick or coarse hair. Interesting. Let's break down those numbers. With sugaring, you can typically expect your results to last an impressive 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, that's more than a month of smooth skin. Now compare that to waxing, where you're looking at results that last about 3 to 4 weeks. Still way better than shaving, obviously, but that's a 1 to 2 week difference. So what gives? And surprise, surprise, it all comes back to that technique we talked about at the beginning. By removing the hair in its natural direction, sugaring is way less likely to snap the hair off at the surface. It ensures you get a clean pull right from the root. A broken hair grows back fast. A hair pulled from the root has to start completely over. And that brings us to our final section. Let's bring it all together. After looking at technique, gentleness, and how long the results last, how in the world do you pick your personal champion? It really just comes down to a simple checklist.
Sugaring is probably going to be your best friend if you have sensitive skin, if you are just so tired of fighting ingrown hairs, if your hair is on the fine to medium size, or if you just really prefer using clean, all-natural products. But hold on, waxing still has some major strength. It might be the better choice for you if your hair is particularly thick or coarse. Because it has that stronger grip, it can be super effective at getting rid of even the most stubborn hair in just one go. So after this whole showdown, we've got a bit of a plot twist. There isn't a single winner that works for everybody. The real champion is whichever method is the best fit for your unique skin, your specific hair type, and honestly, your personal preferences. So there you have it. We've laid out all the facts, from the technique to how long it lasts. We've explained the why behind the what. So now, the final decision is all yours. Which method is going to be your personal champion?